Oh, look at there.
There's one.
There is.
And I see the pop-up. Pop-up video. Remember that?
That was I missed that.
That was
That was
awesome. I used to love hearing the trivia and being like, it's on YouTube too. I got the notification. Um, I used to love like, saying, oh, I knew about that. Oh, I didn't know that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Little tidbits.
Yep,
I
yep.
enjoyed. For those of you who didn't hear us rambling at the beginning, we were talking about pop-up video and how much we missed that show, and when MTV actually showed videos.
There's a great documentary. If anybody has this, I'm just gonna throw this out there right now while people are hopefully trickling in on A&E called I Want My MTV.
Mm.
And it's about the start of MTV all the way through what I would say the grandfather of modern MTV is the first Real World, is the grandfather of reality television, if you all call
Absolutely.
it. Which I kind of laugh, I see the Miz on television. I see like, yeah, dude, that's how you get your start, is when reality TV that kicked in.
Okay, so let me tell you a funny story about that. So, have you guys seen the Italian Job?
Yep.
I have
You
not.
know who the real Napster is? The character in there, what's his face's character in the Italian Job? He's the real Napster, right? He invented Napster, but his college roommate stole it.
Okay.
So here's my funny story. I invented the real world. I did that whole concept of like the real, well, that kind of thing. It was actually almost like not the real world, but the real world road rules. Do you remember road rules?
Yep.
And had done that when I moved across the country one summer and like caravaned across the country and then moved in and lived with all these other people at this random place. And I had like what did we call it back then when we like actually put stuff on social media or whatever, we called, anyway, just call me the real world. No.
Okay, we'll do that. But for those who are in the Aaron Connors mid conversation, welcome to another week of And Then Some.
And then
That's really what we call it. We're at the tail end, guys. This is pretty awesome that we've gone through this. We're almost there, as they say in the sequel to Rogue One. But my name is Spencer. I am going to be one of your hosts for the evening. With me, as always, is the three amigos. We got our producer for the night, Dave. How are you, sir?
hey, how's it going?
Doing great. And
do not refer to me as the real world.
No, it's not the real world, because that's not. Is that like a double negative? So it's really not real. And then we have the latest inductee of Miyagi Fang, Hefe. How are you, sir?
Good.
Fresh off of going to the Cobra Kai premiere last night. We actually had a number of members that were there last night. I saw.
Okay, cool. It was fun. Standing in line to get in was the least fun part, but once I was in, I had my fold-up chair and found myself a nice spot on the grass near a speaker, and brought in my own tasty food and enjoyed the evening. And they had a very bizarre very bizarre premiere with what's his face, Ralph Macchio and
Billy Zabka.
Yeah, arriving in the van from the show. Like they drove up through the park and got out and walked up, and they did like a little red carpet thing. It was pretty funny.
That's cool. Well, I'm glad you were able to do that. And I love seeing you with your big boot doing the crane. That was a awesome picture, which is great. But for those who are, obviously Cobra Kai, Karate Kid fans, midnight tonight premiere on the West Coast, 3 a.m. Season 5 in its entirety goes up on Netflix. But we're not here to talk about the Miyagi verse. We're here to talk about it's D Plus Day, son.
It is.
And there was a plethora of new material that was released today. Like there was a whole crap load of stuff. not just Star Wars. We're talking about Marvel. We're talking about Disney. We're talking about Star Wars. We're talking
It's also
Simpsons
Star Trek Day.
and Star Trek Day, which was the great new trailer for season 3 Picard. Which I'm very, very excited because as the Next Generation cast coming back. But anywho, talking about D Plus Day, obviously we had the premiere of Thor: Love and Thunder and the assembled for that, which was, it was nice to see. It was nice little. It's always great to see those behind the scenes things. And in a few minutes, we're actually going to watch first. So please cue up the Andor special look. For those who don't know, that was the extra scenes that we saw before the IMAX of Rogue One when we had the re-release last week. So, but Obi-Wan: A Jedi's Journey is absolutely fantastic. I don't want to ruin it for you people, but also make sure you stay through the credits, the first credits.
Mm.
The mid-credit scene is all from Celebration Anaheim. From scenes within the hall to the celebration stage.
Okay, is it getting slightly out of hand when a documentary it gets a mid-credit scene, gets a post-credit scene? It's
so we got
more like a
trained. We
prologue.
got trained by Marvel, unfortunately. So it's kind of like it doesn't matter if it's a Marvel movie. Now it could be a DC movie, it could be a Star Wars movie, it could be any movie. We now all sit through any kind of trailer credits all the time because you never know. And we all laugh at all the Marvel people who leave before the midterm. I was like, dude, you've been trained for 12 years now. Like, sit your ass down. Like, it's like, hello. Lane says you've only made it 5 days or 5 minutes before announcing Star Trek Day. Yes, of course. But Dave made a really good comment in our admin chat that they should have actually done more during First Contact Day.
Yeah, it's more of a comment on I hate how D Plus has stole Paramount's thunder because obviously Star Trek Day originated in 1966, but that Disney Plus just happened to drop on that day, so
Disney Plus Day was November 12th last year. So the fact that this year it's September, what's today? 8th. And I think the only reason that we have Disney Plus on September 8th this year is because D23 starts today or
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which I want to point out, first panel on the D23 stage is Marvel at Lucasfilm and 20th Century Films. So we're going to have a lot to report at happy hour on Tuesday. So make sure you come to happy hour next week because we're probably going to have a lot to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to remind everybody, please make sure that you have queued up the Andor. We're going to probably watch it in about 5 minutes. It's only a 9-minute thing, so we can get done quickly and chat about that. Also, want to plug the fact that during tonight's program, which we are going to be watching, I have to say, probably my favorite movie of the Disney era.
Ooh, big
Solo.
Bold
I absolutely love Solo. I think it was got a bad rap for all the wrong reasons. And it was the first movie that made me get the feels of the original films. Like I get the chills. It makes me feel like I'm watching the original movie, the way that it was filmed. That's just my opinion. I also like other movies that are polarizing, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
But I like Rogue One. Don't get me wrong, I love Rogue One. Solo to me is so damn good. It's so damn good. And I'm so glad we're going to watch it. And I'm always happy every time we're going to watch this one. But before we watch Rogue One tonight, we're going to, before we watch Solo tonight, I'm going to jump a week ahead. We're going to have a little bit of a surprise for everybody. We're going to be releasing a new shirt tonight, a new design, which is going to be pretty awesome. So make sure you take a look at that. Also, keep an eye out on the page because there might be some stuff leaked in the next week or so. Some tasty morsels, if you will. That might be very nice, breakfast type stuff for the, get your blood pumping, because we are 7 months away celebration, literally. So time to get hyped.
Yes.
But for those who are in the know and know what's coming up, it's some really good stuff coming out. I gotta tell you.
Don't you forget about me.
Don't. Exactly. Very excited. So if you're watching right now, please don't call the censors, because that would just mess up everything that we're doing. We don't need that.
This is rubber stamp right
Yep.
there.
But yes, very, very excited about that. But I don't know what's going on over on the network, Dave.
So if you missed it last weekend on Sunday, we had our Jedi Archives dropped a review of a Cassian Andor K2SO one shot comic. That was really cool. And this weekend coming is a new episode of the Unifying Force, where we are going to lay it out there on the line and give our official last minute again Andor predictions, so we can completely be wrong.
There you go.
So we're gonna have our Andor preview show and talk about the teasers and the trailers and the TV spots that we've seen, and analyze those down, and we will place our bets on what's going to happen and what's going to go down.
Very awesome. And also the last lineup of the Rebels Revisited, very much Andor centric. And then next week when we watched Rogue One, we had invited the Rebels Revisited crew to join us to end Andor August and then some. And next week
They
we'll
have
announce
one more episode after our viewing of Rogue One. They have an episode on Monday before Andor drops.
Oh yes, they will.
So
they truly have the last word, and
Yes.
they're going to be doing, I think, like what David mentioned, they'll be doing some predictions and stuff, especially on that fine evening.
Really cool. And then hopefully next week, which I think we'll announce the schedule for our watch alongs for Andor as well. So you'll get an idea what's going on. But plan that also that the first 2 weeks, because there's a number drops, a 3-episode drop on the first night, we'll probably the first 2 weeks do double up episodes just to get back on schedule like we did for Kenobi. So but we'll have that up for you guys next week, so don't worry about that. But when we watch the Andor preview, so please make sure that you have your D+ machine all queued up and go to the Andor special that is on new to Disney+, or you can go to Star Wars and it's listed there.
Yes.
Are you guys all queued up?
I am cute.
Oh,
Hold on.
uh-oh.
All right. Yep. Okay. I think everybody good.
You good there, Jeff?
Yep.
All right. We do the 5-second countdown for this one.
5-second rule.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Okay, so I have not seen this yet because
Oh,
Because you had to go see Top Gun again,
Yes.
as opposed to go see Rogue One again.
So I've seen this now. This will be the third time since I saw it once in the theater.
Yeah, me too.
Once earlier today. But it's great with this kind of discussion at the beginning over a lot of really cool footage as a start.
He's been in this fight since has he mentioned that since he was 6?
I heard that somewhere.
But right now, Literally, that was just said.
That specific fight right there, and it's that one.
Your timing was impeccable.
See, I think this is amusing. The way this is doing it is it looks like, he's joined the Empire purposely to like sneak in there and infiltrate, unlike we're about to see Han joining the Empire.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you're real, without spoiler alert, you're really jumping ahead.
Saying.
Why is Ellen DeGeneres an evil Imperial officer? That's what I want to know.
But isn't she already part of the evil empire?
Depends on who you talk to, I guess.
Yes.
There you go.
Some amazing location shots here.
And they, they said this is a through and through, espionage show that's not like your prototypical Star Wars project.
Basically, everything should be. They should be doing things of all different types and genres with a Star Wars over theme.
Oh, like Mission Impossible.
Yeah. But seeing Stellan Skarsgård, I keep on thinking of him from Thor. Like he's got that distinct look to his voice. It's kind of like,
Are you about to like take the giant spear and create a portal for Thanos to show up?
Maybe. But thank you everybody for joining us again tonight. We're very happy to have you all with us.
And those of you just getting here, we're watching the Andor preview on D+. We're sitting at about 253 on that. I really thought that was cool that they actually brought in the orchestra and they're playing it live while they're doing it. I mean, has anybody ever done that before?
I don't, doesn't sound like something that's been done much, if at all. But I'm sure it helped give them, like he was saying, kind of a more, here we go, more of a feel for it.
Here we go. Doesn't that look like Vader's chess piece?
Very much so. Definitely reminiscent.
Oh,
snap! It's like a rad card trick. It's like I got credits.
It reminds me of the new episode of She-Hulk. If you haven't watched it.
Oh,
that's all I said. That's all I'm saying. Jeff's laughing because he probably knows what I'm talking about.
I haven't gotten to do that yet either.
Okay, here we go.
This is such an interesting yet odd, and how does it come into function in the Star Wars universe location that they're in? These chains and heavy machinery stuff.
Listen to this. There you go, Dave.
Explaining right there how, you can have two sets of legs walking out under a coat right through the middle of it. And nobody bats an eye.
Well, it's from the Acme School of Looney Tunes. I mean,
Lanny's asking, what are your thoughts on the new costuming? Like,
I like the changing. I mean, it doesn't need to be the exact thing to what we see right now. I like the rustic version of what it's going towards.
Yeah, it's very gritty, but feels less swarzy than we're used to.
Mm.
You know?
When I watched this in the theater before Rogue One, all I was looking at was the weapon.
Hmm.
How is that? Well, it kind of looks like Ray's gun. What? Oh wait, no, wait. I could make that out of.
But
Kind of looks like Ray. Kind of looks like Ray's speeder.
Yeah, that too.
or a USB drive, whichever.
Yes.
At least it's not just like a AK-47 with like two little bits.
Or
not
an actual shotgun that somehow shoots blaster bolts. Yeah.
Watch this.
It's pretty crazy in this part.
Well,
it totally doesn't feel like a Star Wars thing, but at the same time, it does.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because like if that had swung through there in a Star Wars movie, that would have been a Jedi like throwing it at you with the Force.
Or striking the chain down and stopping it with like his saber or something.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of makes, it makes it more real,
Dumb feel to me for some reason. Yeah, it does. It's more gritty.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, need the box, garbage.
Snap. Somebody don't want you to take that. Ooh, put that there.
Pew, 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 pew.
Cover me, Porkins.
I have a feeling because we're not gonna get, potentially get lightsabers in this, that there's gonna be a lot of blaster fire. This is gonna be like,
heavy on the blasters.
Blasters all the time.
That room is going down. Literally.
And it's an interesting location that we get, space transmission shop or something.
Yeah. What do they fix in there? Yeah, we've already seen Cassian. Spoiler alert: if you haven't seen Rogue One, kill at least one person. So, besides all the unseen, unmasked,
There's the AK.
Troopers that there's
Ellen.
Darth Ellen. Yeah, no, she's a Imperial officer Ellen.
Those are new uniforms that we haven't seen, right? The Imperial bellboys.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it is. They look sort of like flying monkeys or something. I don't know.
Yes, that's it.
And what about Fiona Shaw? You got Mrs. Dursley in there.
There you go.
We have to get used to that stuff. I wish they would put a damn lightsaber in right there. Anyways, that was fun. I don't want to.
So there we go. Your first time seeing that, Dave. What's your thoughts?
Like I said, I mean, it's very interesting. It's very different than what you're expecting. So I look forward to watching it and seeing what's going on. Yeah.
It has to sort of start out at least in a very similar fashion to Mando, where there was going to be basically no saber play until they said this show is going to be the best kicking off thing ever, and let's put all these characters into it.
Well, and I look forward to seeing too, because it's mismatched in like the trailers and the sneak footage that we've seen. Are they gonna like start us with the flashback stuff? Are they gonna like introduce us and get us in and then flash it back some and give us backstory? Or I want to see what's going on, what they show us first.
What do you think of the fact that like it was like in a warehouse, like the scene that we watched. It was not like, an Imperial stockyard or, in a building or anything of that nature.
That was slightly weird. It was like, and it was just kind of, it was a little too earthy. It's kind of like when Mando ended up in like, the meat packing plant from Rocky.
Right.
Wait, this is Star Wars?
Yeah. We'll see. I'm sure there's going to be all kinds of weird side locations like that they have to do little kind of transactions similar to what he was trying to pull off there. And who knows if that element's going to show up again or it's gone.
But what do people think in the chat? I mean, I know we have a couple people in there. What's your thoughts on this? What we saw. I know Bryce mentioned that he loved seeing it on IMAX and it was absolutely gorgeous. Obviously in a bigger screen.
Yeah, and Lanny is saying, yeah, it's the Rebels' point of view. That's why it's like grittier because it's down on the ground in the trenches, as it were. In the beginning of the rebellion. But yeah, Bryce saying, it's going to see flashbacks first, so it can go to from year 5 to year 4 before Rogue One. So he's going to give us the backstory a little bit earlier. I don't know.
So the first season takes place over how many years? 4 years or 1 year?
I want to say at Celebration, they said that it was taking place starting 5 years before Rogue One, and season 1 would end up a year before Rogue One.
Right, that's it. Yeah.
And then season 2 is that last year before and leads right up to the events of Rogue One.
Exactly.
See, Bryce is saying that he thinks it's something different. He thinks that season 1 is 1 year.
No, I think it's the other. I think it's what you said, Dave. But
I thought that's what it was, but I wouldn't swear to it.
Because I would think that we're seeing him evolve over this season more, and then we're seeing the more like the Cassian we encounter in Rogue One in the next season.
Yeah.
I'm sure
so with that in mind as well, we're about to watch Solo, so please make sure that you have that queued up. But Dave, why don't you talk about what is live on TeePublic currently?
All right, so we're going to try a little bit of producery magic, and I think I'm going to show the people on Facebook this, but if you're on YouTube, you may not see it, so you may have to check it out. So I think if you check out and look at, boom, right here, the virtual Cantina TeePublic site, you will see right here, boom, make Solo 2 happen t-shirt.
Ooh.
Available in many styles, many colors, many fit, but for my
and on sale
right now. Look at that. Look at that right there. 20% off if you sign up for the emails and texts. And this one's new. It is on sale because it debuted just today. So you get what for the next 2 days, 19 hours, 15 minutes, and 26, 4 seconds. You get 36% off. So
a bargain.
That out and just says, if for those of you, squinting at the TV, dear Ron Howard, make Solo 2 happen. Your friends at the virtual Cantina. Some of which may have screamed that at Mr. Ron Howard himself at me.
Yes, you did. And it was awesome. But yeah, so if you show your pride, if you love this movie as much as we do, let's do it. I mean, this movie alone got me. I mean, honestly, being a child of the original trilogy, obviously, Leia was always the quintessential female fantasy. But honestly, I have to give it to Emilia Clarke in this. The Kira character there's something awesome about it that I had to go further into the character with the comic books and find out more about Crimson Dawn and stuff of that nature. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you guys think about that. I mean, I know it's a bold statement to say that I prefer Kira over Leia, but
See, I didn't quite get there because I was a huge fan of the original Thrawn story and in the EU, and they talked about Han's first wife, another one of Han's love interests in that, and I thought that she was so intriguing, and I can't even place her name at this point. This is why we need Mark and Ashley next week, actual content. But so
We
but
can
I
get
thought that was the thing, and just learning about Kira here in this movie is no disrespect to her performance. I thought it was great. Thought she was amazing in this, but I was like, I was hungering to see more, and that's what we can see in Solo 2. Tell us the story of Han's first wife.
yeah, that'd be very, very cute. And also see, we'll talk about the end of it, but let's make sure that we queue it all up. But support the virtual cantina. All proceeds from the T Public store go towards swag for celebration. I'm waiting for a final proof, but we had a tribute item that was in design, and rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth II. We have a tribute to Queen Elizabeth that was in production prior to this, so the timing is like very apropos, which would be a nice Bria Theron, I guess her name is, Dave.
Thank
But
you,
we'll
Bryce.
have that as soon as I get the proof. We're gonna actually show a release of it, and it's gonna be one of our swag pieces for celebration in London. So yeah, I guess that's all I really say before we start the movie. Does anybody else want to chime in on anything?
No, I think that's good. Let's watch the movie. We'll
Yeah.
just ramble on over top of the actual movie as we go. We'll cover anything else
See,
we
that's
miss.
why we need the other two to come in with content, because we're all about shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Say
Well,
shenanigans.
I think we need a
or not.
graphic that's sort of like Mystery Science Theater 3000, but the three of us, the shadows in the front seat of the theater.
I already have that made, right?
I had no idea about this.
Totally have that made already. I've been
You
waiting.
know, something that's one of the things I love about the fact that when I talk with the two of you guys all the time, it's like I had this great idea. You're like, yeah, we thought about this. You get offline and we talk, and we had this idea before you even talked. I'm like, that's why I pay you the big bucks. This is awesome.
That's it.
Just like, yeah. Anywho, let's start to do a 5-second countdown, but make sure, please, you have Solo. Shenanigans is Spencer's middle name. Well, better than Danger. So yes. And
Flat.
yes, Flat. Flat is my surname. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
There you go. Nice tribute to Star Trek Day.
I had to.
Ah,
That's what you did there.
the Lucasfilm logo.
Mm-hmm.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Okay, so you had these, it's a lawless time. You had a little bit of like a epilogue, prologue, title right up. Do you think this is better for this as opposed to doing a crawl?
I think, didn't they say that for the stories they weren't going to do a crawl, so they did kind of more. I see this as more like the little things that you get in Clone Wars.
Right.
So like the announcement.
They should have had Tom Kane do the voiceover.
It would have been nice.
But what do you think? Do you think that if that was a crawl, it had the same effect, or do you think people?
Don't think it had enough information. First off, it was only 3 sentences, 5 sentences, something like that.
Yeah.
And you also didn't get, after a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, the bam Star Wars logo, and then like you would get. So it's very different in that sense already, and it's way less information. I don't think it deserves a crawl, or warrants a crawl, I should say. But here we go. Now we're getting.
And then see, then you're going to get this is we don't It's different. And
Yeah.
this is excitement and it's action from the beginning, but it's not the moment of the Star Destroyer coming from behind across the screen.
And it was also it was also I think the first Star Wars movie overall that didn't start off in space per se,
Mm,
because even Rogue One starts off in space where you got, Krennic's ship flying over the planet.
Right.
Jonathan
Okay,
said,
yeah.
so
Well,
who
why don't
has
you
the
put yourself?
Lando voicemail?
Yeah, why don't you put yourself over? What was his character's name in Family Guy? Lando. What was his last name?
I do not know.
Carlos Spicy Wiener, who are you talking about?
Carlos Spicy. Yes.
Oh,
That was Han.
there you go.
Um,
I'm just disappointed you didn't have him mention Colt 45, Donovan. Yeah, that would have been a nice crossover.
And it's smooth.
It's
All the time.
works every time.
Yep.
85% of the time it works every time.
Mm-hmm.
Stay classy, Corellia? No.
It's gonna work.
There you go. Just a little bitty bit of the coaxium. Just had that ever
Dave,
been mentioned before this movie, or did they just make that up for this?
they made up for this, but we talked about that. That after this movie, we got hints of coaxium in other movies, but they just didn't call it coaxium.
Mm-hmm.
But they talked about coaxium in Summer Vacation,
Right.
but we already knew what it was by then.
Isn't there talk of coaxium in prior cartoons before this? No?
I think there was, but in live action, I think that there was not. Like,
for live action, yeah.
they never verbalized it, but now that's part of the lore that we're going back and we're now saying, well, this could be this, and we're justifying, well, this could be that thing, and sort of like the force heal in A New Hope. Like, everybody's like, is he seeing if he's checking his pulse, or is he force healing him when Luke gets knocked out by the Tusken Raider?
Which I am all for Team Force Heal.
Yes.
Retcon.
And I was also about to mention, Dave, I don't know if you saw that Billy Zabka is announced for Rhode Island today.
I did not see that. I was about to ask too, because we were talking about and Notman's mentioning Cobra Kai over in the chat. Is who else has been announced this week for Cobra Kai in Cobra Kai week?
Okay, so they announced the guy who plays Stingray.
Yep.
And they announced Elizabeth Shue.
Yep.
And Billy Zabka. So,
and should we expect another one tomorrow? Probably.
I would imagine if I was a betting man, because they had a lot of them last year, they had actually a lot of the kids last year.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine they'll probably bring in Cove and Machio.
Nice. There we go. Okay, this critter here just reminds me of like Roz from Monsters Inc.
Yeah. Also very kind of what's it called? I can't think of it right now.
It's also sounds like Edna from Incredibles.
Oh, good, a little bit. That
Also,
is her. Is that her?
No, because Edna, and it looks like her, the person who's doing the voice here, but the voice is actually a guy in Incredibles. Yeah.
Has a Dark Crystal vibe. That's what I was trying to think of.
This is a rock.
This is a rock.
But here the thing is, so I read an article that the whole thing with Leia and the thermal detonator, maybe it's a retcon, but that all came from Han telling Leia about this.
Mm.
Which, like I said, maybe it's a justification because like a lot of Star Wars these days is a justification. It's like, oh, that came from this, like sort of like the gnarly old goat dude from Return of the Jedi. Everybody's like, well, that's Rex.
Oh yeah, because George wrote that character into Return of the Jedi before he even wrote Rex.
Who would have thought the Queen of Dragons the Mother of Dragons would have turned out to be
a Scrum Rat?
Yeah. Speaking of which, is anybody watching the prequel to Game of Thrones?
I am not.
Game of Thrones. I haven't watched any of that.
Yeah, never started that. I'm going back right now and trying to watch the prequel-y stuff to Lord of the Rings.
I need to start watching that. I've been so in data and stuff. Okay, John, we all know that you have a long Carlos Spicy Wiener. Okay, we know you have a Lando voicemail. Okay, but do you have a Darth Vader lunchbox? No.
Dude. But do you have a phaser pit? Can I interest you in a phaser pistol?
Ooh.
Yes, just for you, John. I totally, and because it's Star Trek Day, I ordered a phaser for my cosplay today.
Ooh, that's very nice there, Jeffrey.
Yeah, I didn't have an OG phaser, so I needed one.
This is not a phaser.
No, that is not. That is better production value than Andor, right there.
He's saying
Or
F that.
But anyways,
Stormtrooper just said pull over. If he turned around and said no, it's a cardigan, thanks for asking, I would have lost my stuff.
Oh, Bryce is watching all the content. He's watching Rings of Power and House of Dragons. He's watching House of Rings of Power and Dragons.
Yes.
I was I think I had some screening for like a first few episodes of Rings of Power that I missed, so I haven't caught up to it yet. Otherwise, I may have seen the first couple episodes. At least.
Will fit.
Scrunch.
I can arrange, man.
So was that like the wall in Batu where they just left that speeder? Except it's smaller in Batu. They have the little kids version of Han's speeder up on the wall in the marketplace. Easter egg if you've never seen it.
A little long.
They should have a full-size one in the speeder bay. That would actually be cooler. But small one's still cool.
Yeah.
Way to get people to join the Empire. Let's rough them up.
Do that.
Customs. This is gonna be us going to Heathrow.
That'll be exactly.
I forgot my passport. Here's some coax.
Who are you traveling with? Who are your people?
Are those bomb dogs or drug dogs? Or they're bloodhounds?
Yeah, Lanny says watching House of Dragons and Rings of Power. Maybe Rings of Power does start picking up, as I started it and it was slow.
Sure.
Yes, I spotted Kevin in there. I spotted several of our members that worked behind the scenes during the towards the end of the episode. So it's nice to see people that we know and members. I love seeing all of our members that were in the celebration scenes.
Okay, what are you tagging me in on Instagram? Are you enabling something right now?
I'm always enabling something.
Facilitating it as well. Instigating it.
That's a good secondhand Star Wars thing, and they're selling off pieces for figures.
Yes, that's very nice.
So I am instigating, and
I
Buy all
like
things. Buy them. Get them.
buy all the
Them
things.
sent to
Yeah.
your house.
I have actually like two of the things that were advertised on there already bought because I had to, restore this little dude.
There we go. I'm working on getting making a larger version of that blaster.
They got the memo in this production and they used the Empire light panels as different things. They
Yep.
didn't just throw up some fluorescence.
So if you follow our Wednesday Thrawn show, no, Tashi Station, we have a member who actually makes those panelings for people's playrooms and man caves and stuff at a really good rate. So take a look at that.
Yes, very cool. Then that's an R2 unit.
But one thing I love as well is that in the background here, they have a recruitment video that's almost like watching Starship Troopers. If you want to hear more. But the music in the background is the Imperial March. So how meta is that?
There you go.
Yeah,
Advertising with John Williams.
he exists in the Star Wars universe.
So are you joining late, Notman? Dear Ron Howard, make Solo 2 happen.
We have a new T-shirt, Mr. Notman, which we will
Seen
post.
our public show. Your
We're gonna
channel page.
we will put it up later tonight.
What's your name?
What's your name, dude? Eastwood.
What's your sign?
Clint Eastwood.
Han
Skywalker.
Han.
Skywalker. There you go. That's
Han Alono.
Somehow Solo returned.
You're by yourself. You're alone.
ugh. I don't know. I think this turned out to be kind of like meme worthy, but I mean, I see where they're going with like reference to Ellis Island and people's names getting
Very much
changed.
But he, didn't even have a name to have changed.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Peter Griffin. Peter Griffin.
That's right.
I could imagine somebody coming from somewhere where maybe it's more typical to have a single name and not kind of fitting into the American, like.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome. You went to see John Williams this weekend, Lanny. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, she stopped by Scum and Villainy, I think, on the way there, which is cool too.
Yep,
It's always a nice spot to hang out at. I was doing, I don't know what I was doing that day, probably just recuperating. But anyways, it's always fun to stop to go to both the bowl and Scum and Villainy. I think some people I knew went after. It's basically everybody from the bowl hanging out.
Now, see, this is where this movie goes, and what makes it good is some of the complaints is, well, everything happens on Tatooine or everything happens. No, they go to a lot of different places in this.
Yeah, this movie has a lot of moving around, a lot of different elements that are kind of, movie tropes in themselves, which I really like the way they kind of broke it up into multiple types of genres at times.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's like you don't see frontline battle in Star Wars often. I mean, we did see Hoth. It was similar to this. It was white. It was in the daytime.
Right. Yeah. We saw Hoth. We saw Crate.
Crate, yeah.
But
it was Crate after this, or no? Crate was before this, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because that's why people protested this because of their dislike of the other.
Exactly. Which is really lame and too
Really?
bad. But
Yes.
nobody cares. I love it.
But see, this is, some throwbacks. This is they're walking through this kind of dugout place. This is like the
Yeah.
hallway scene.
Very much. I was kind of wary of Woody, but he's grown on me.
Well, I mean, I got the same feeling about Woody that I felt when I saw that he was going to be in Hunger Games. I'm like, it's the guy from Cheers.
Yeah.
Like, it's Woody from Cheers.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, also talking about D23, if you go to the D Plus Innovation Lounge, that's a friend of mine from high school, Dave, is going to be running that area. And he also has a panel that he is hosting called Designing for Inclusion, which is on Saturday at 1:30 p.m.
Different Dave.
So if you go by, yes, but if you go by the Disney Plus Innovation Lounge and ask for David, let him know that you're a friend of Spencer's, and he'll help you out.
Escort you out of the convention center promptly.
Yes.
It's like, I am with the flat one. Nope, you're out. You're gone. You're bye.
What was that line from? Do you guys see the movie Jersey Boys?
I don't know if I have.
I don't think so
Well, there's a
either.
line that you go to any casino in Vegas, you name the name Tommy DeVito, my hand to God, you'll be out in 5 seconds.
Classic.
There you go.
What a way!
I'm disagreeing with you, and the best part of this movie is Emilia Clarke.
Yes,
I really enjoyed a lot. Was Alden's performance in this? I really did. I didn't think I was, gonna love another person as Han. And Eunice's scenes are great. I mean, more Chewy.
Dog Lover steals the movie.
Well, yes, he yeah.
Because that's a tough act to follow.
I think, yeah,
He does.
He could have got much more appreciation had people not been so down on this movie in general. He deserved it as well.
How would you guys feel if on Saturday morning they call up Donald and Billy D on stage, finally announced the Lando show going up?
I would watch that like on a 24-hour rotating loop.
I think we talked about it in our chats that how could it be a show be if it was being acted by Donald, but told like the Caribbean Chronicles, like overdubbed by Billy D, like he's narrating.
He could be it escaped me right now.
Like if you watch the Goldbergs, they have that Wonder Years kind of like scenario.
Yeah, I was thinking more along the lines of How I Met Your Mother.
Okay.
That kind of deal is I'd love to see that. He intros it, tells the thing. This is what went on.
Steve Blum, by the way, is one of the mud troopers that pushed Han into the mud
pit.
The pit with the beast.
Yes, the mosh against Chewie.
And I know that Sam was one of the mud troopers as well.
Oh yeah.
And boom.
How can we mention the Bettany? The Bettany hasn't shown up yet.
No, you mentioned it. I'm just saying, because your favorite actor is in this film, you don't have to let us know before it happens. Spoiler alert.
He's got some foresight into his vision.
Yes.
They have a spiritual bond.
Yes.
But see this?
Oh. Going up against the monster.
I kept on thinking, God, his fur must be matted down, because I'm thinking of like scenes like from like I'm going to take this because there's a great documentary about it right now, but like Woodstock '99, like when everyone's like caked, and you got Chewy cakes with that much fur on them.
Well, I just think about the stories that I've heard of Gary Jones telling like how difficult it is to like make one of these suits. It's like just the production of this. It's like let's make one of these suits and
And then
ruin it.
destroy it.
This is
Covered in mud
been
and nasty
hundreds of
candy.
hours making this amazingly intricately detailed fursuit and destroy it.
Speaks Wookiee. Should they say Kashyyykian?
So
That's
And
the
where did
plot.
Han learn this? Did they have Rosetta Stone on Corellia?
I want to think that there are
Built
multiple
into.
Wookiee
Okay.
languages on Kashyyyk. That
Right.
there's Shriwook and there's other there's multiple dialects.
Right.
So
Like
it still
Han,
doesn't answer how
Han,
on earth they got it. Yeah,
Leia, Leah, you know.
but still doesn't answer where on earth that he picked this up.
Kashyyykian Moof Milker. I popped for that. I was like, okay, that's funny.
Oh, nice.
Uh-oh, there we go. Whew.
Trapdoor. You just sit there and gawk at it for like an hour.
Bryce, we don't like to talk about it. We love to talk about it.
We
It's
enjoy
not
it.
men who doesn't like to talk about it.
We
We
will-
love
We
talking
will
about
go
it.
in full depth, details, and all, and talk about it if we.
And very likely
Let
will
us.
when Mr. Bettany shows up on screen this evening.
It will get talked about. So
Hey, now.
Let's go.
So how many languages does Chewie know? He knows English for sure, or whatever the hell they call it here.
Galactic Basic.
Yeah. And some forms of Wookage. I wonder what else he knows. Probably
I don't know.
seems to communicate okay with
And
like.
here's another voice of Mr. Jean Favreau.
Can Chewie understand R2? Does he speak whatever basic droid basic or what?
That's what I'm thinking,
He
because he
does.
seems to have some good interaction with R2 or get it, you get the vibe that he understands what R2's saying. So yeah. At least Astro Mech or I guess BB-8 speaks in a similar form. Most droids, I guess, just beep. If they don't
How would
talk.
he know that you never had deeper sleep by laying in a Wookiee's lap?
He space tender? I don't know.
Maybe he's on Star Wars Hub.
It could be. It's
I think Space Tinder is closer, but yeah.
Plenty of Wookiees.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, did anybody else find this scene disturbing?
Copellets.com.
yeah, that's
First time we see someone in Star Wars in a shower, and we
Yes.
see it with the Wookiee.
Let the Wookiee win.
At some point I would just love to have like subtitles or something for what Chewie is saying. Like when he does that, it's like, what did he say there?
Yeah, it'd be interesting because well, maybe not in this, but in like the original trilogy or first movie for sure, didn't Peter actually speak dialogue?
Yes, that's how they got that
He
situated.
did.
I was
And
actually just going to mention that.
He got that accent of his saying stuff as Chewie, which is so surreal. But it's kind of like what Leilani had described of her speaking directly to Ewan, and then they dubbing in Jawaese on top of her. Of course. I guess it
But he's like, I think if Chewie, like my uncle who doesn't speak English, everybody says whatever they want to in front of him, but secretly think he understands it all because he always laughs when we do. I think that's a common thing. I think there are a lot of people who don't completely like speak English, but will sit there and listen in on an English conversation and get enough of it.
Or say that
lot.
they have hearing problems, but they hear you clearly.
Well, that's a different.
I know a few of those. They must think this was a waste of Thandie Newton. I mean, she's such a fantastic actress, and
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I don't miss anything more than
definitely.
that.
She needed to be in Solo too. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. She's one of the. I need 5 more people. I think 4 to 5 people of the main cast. I need my cast piece, and I'm almost done. And she's one of them.
Mm.
I need her. I need Woody, who is tough to get. I need to get Donald, and I need Phoebe Walker-Bridge.
Very cool. I love the reference to Bosk there when they're breaking
Yep.
down who Bosk was my favorite bounty hunter, kind of tied with Boba, but I think I liked him more than Boba back in the day when they were introduced.
And
'Cause
now,
Boba-
if you look at the
Boba
Mandoverse,
on rock.
Trandoshans are, and look at the Mandoverse, Trandoshans are everywhere now.
Oh yeah, it's tons of them, and their arms ripped off, rightfully so.
He's called Flyboy for the first time.
He's the pilot. He's Honey. He's the pilot.
But why? Has he proven? He hasn't even proven anything about being a pilot or an extraordinary. He hasn't flown anything yet. He might have told them he could, or he's great,
Yeah.
but he was just serving in like the Imperial infantry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also at the same time, if you think about the scene before they jump the trash compactor, Leia says, "Into the garbage chute, Flyboy." She didn't know how he got there.
Mm.
He
I
could have
guess.
walked.
He
for all
was,
she knew.
yeah. He could have ridden. He could have, ridden a Vespa.
Come in.
With too many mirrors and lights.
Mr. Notman is asking, what is everyone's impression or opinion of Woody Harrelson in this?
I didn't mind him. I mean, like I said, initially I was not like, I was like, okay, because Woody's not a great character actor by any stretch of the imagination. Woody's Woody, and he's always going to be, I mean, he's known as the goofy guy from Cheers. So the fact that he's trying to do some more serious roles in various aspects, it's what level of Woody are you going to get? It's like, I hate to say, what level of Keanu are you going to get? It doesn't have much range. I mean, like Nicholson, people think of him, he's a great actor, but really what you're looking at is different levels of the same character.
It is. You're right. I mean,
I don't think he's one of the best, the quintessential American actors. I mean, I can throw out right now names like Tom Hanks or Dustin Hoffman or Pacino. Maybe not Pacino, but definitely Tom Hanks or Dustin Hoffman. They are really great actors, like meaty actors. Spacey, I would put out there as well.
Yeah,
I like how he got his gun just now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Interesting how he
You
broke
gotta give the origin for everything.
Yeah,
except for the crossbow. I wanted that.
Oh, there's no bowcaster yet.
Yeah.
Well, and like I didn't mind Woody's performance in this, but I think the fact that he was Woody Harrelson took us a little out of it. If it had been another guy, just a new actor giving that performance, I think there would have been more to it.
Yeah, it's always been one thing that I've kind of been wary of, is when fairly known actors are cast in, main character roles for Star Wars stuff. Back in the day, Alec Guinness was known, but he wasn't known by that audience.
Right.
The different kind
Which they actually have some interviews with him talking about that. If you watch a Jedi Journey.
Yeah, it's great.
Same thing with Peter Cushing.
Yeah. I love this train heist element here. It's like a whole nother type kind of movie.
And we keep on going back to, like when we watched Fett, and obviously we were talking about the Pikes, which we'll talk about later on when they go to Kessel. Spoiler if you've not watched this. But seeing the train heist that they did with the Pikes was very reminiscent of this as well.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. Those are nice shoes.
Yeah, the magnetic boots, but then these snow troopers are like wearing big fluffy coats.
Oh,
You get some Han Chewie bondings, like you get to see what their friendship is and why they were so inseparable.
I like the costume variation for Chewie, giving him goggles, and he has that Y bandolier for most of this, as opposed to the classic single bandolier with the pouch. But
Yes.
that whole thing.
Does he have the cross bandolier later on in this movie? Like he has two?
It goes like this, but then it only goes down on
Shut
one.
off. And then
It's
Yeah.
like a Y.
yeah. And that's one of the things that makes it difficult to find, when you're searching for Black Series figures, is you search for Chewbacca Black Series figure and you get ones that are classic OT. It's like,
Right.
when I was looking for one to have a Eunice sign, and I was like, nope, can't find a solo one. Can't find a solo one. That's not a solo one. Man, I need that.
There's enough variation.
Let's see. You mentioned that McKellen, Hopkins, Olivier Irons, Daniel Day-Lewis, Michael Caine, and Ralph Fiennes. I don't know if I would put Ian McKellen in there, because he has a certain voice dialect that no matter if he's playing Magneto or playing Gandalf, he kind of has the same kind of I don't know, like how do I explain that? He doesn't sound different. He doesn't seem like he's a different. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong in that.
And I mean, I don't know. Michael Caine just kind of plays Michael Caine in a lot of films. I mean, maybe not all of them, but Michael Caine, he's very much how he is as Alfred in like Jaws, The Revenge, and it's
got kind of one flavor.
yeah, and I'm sure there's probably work that he's done that I don't know about, but in a lot of the stuff that you do see, it's that for a lot.
And you can see him blaming on Rio, if you remember that movie from the 80s. I would say Laurence Olivier, Jeremy Irons, Daniel Day-Lewis absolutely is in that. Hopkins, yeah, I would say he's probably close there.
Yeah, people that get absolutely crazy and in depth and change their whole appearance and mannerisms for a role of Bale.
Yep. When you see him it's now on D Plus Thor when he's playing God Killer,
Yeah. And what was the movie that he like lost half his body weight for? The Mechanic, possibly? Something about that. The Machinist, maybe. Machinist? Mechanic, yeah. I don't know.
IMDb is your friend. Anyways, this made me sad coming up here. Spoiler alert.
Oh yeah. This,
But there's some of these fights
and
are.
and here's a weird. I don't know if I liked this or disliked this. How much Enfys Nest remind me of like General Grievous. You just kind of the math and when you get the staff on both sides, it's just very
Right.
kind of the Machinist. There you go, Notman. See?
You got it the second time, I think.
We won't hold that he's a Welshman against him.
Yes.
No. Ness is taking him down.
Oh,
Yeah, I lost for a fighter as well.
Didn't Grievous's kind of look evolve from something similar to Enfy's Nest, though? Sort of more of a primitive, like general, whatever the being was, look until
maybe,
Yeah.
but remember
down.
that would have been before Enfys Nest. Is
Right.
Enfys Nest would have been influenced by Grievous potentially.
or whatever the subculture is. That's kind of what
Yeah.
I'm getting at. But
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I think I know things, and then maybe I do, and maybe I don't.
Well, you may
But
know
do you
things that
drink and you know things?
Not that often. Usually I forget things, but that's it.
Okay, you drink and forget things. Gotcha.
Right now I can't drink because I'm on antibiotics, but that's beside the point.
frowned upon. Not necessarily can't, but should.
No, I know it's it's not.
Oh
Probably
no.
better off if I don't, but oh no. She needs like, where's that little like squirrel suit? She can just flop her arms out and sail off into the snow-covered mountains off to the side.
No, no, no. Don't even remind me of the travesty that was the new Point Break that was like that. No. Oh, no.
See, look at all that good snow she could have landed in. Anywho,
Well, in Solo 2, somehow she returned.
very possible.
Because no one's ever really did.
Oh, hey, Jackie, how are you?
Hello.
So that whole train, this was the only car that had any coaxium in it. Is that what we're saying here? Because that whole train just went down.
Right. And it should have gone thermonuclear if it had any of this stuff in it. Because this one little car, implodes that mountain.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry, yes, and spoiler alert.
Global federal nuclear war.
Would you like to play a game?
Pretty much. That's a intense explosion. So yeah, they had to have been none on the rest of the car. Weren't they going after more than one car? Were they only going after one car? I can't remember. Anyways, seems like a lot of train for a little bit of something that's not even being that well protected.
That's a good question. Master Assassinist, L3 or K2, but what about 3PO as well? Would you throw
R2?
Yeah, if you could hear,
he's got horrible language.
Every
even
word
Chopper
that he
though,
ever
Chopper
said.
too.
Chopper.
Chopper goes to town. So I don't know. I think they're all kind of their own thing too. They all have a little different. Although K2 and L3 are both very kind of the same. More than maybe more than 3PO. I don't know. Chopper.
They get really kind of fast and loose with measurements and stuff in this movie. There's you owe them 100 keys of refined coaxium. It's like, really? Are we using kilograms? Are we what? This is space kilograms? It's they're in these little bitty things that can't weigh nothing.
Yeah. It's gotta be super dense, like dark matter or something.
What about red matter?
There you go. Just well, it behaves like the red matter.
Yeah.
So. Oops, Han's not wearing Wookiee fur right there. That would be very bad taste.
Oh, it's an awkward conversation. But where do you draw that line when you have this cast of alien creatures? It's oh, I can wear marmot fur, but heaven forbid it's Wookiee fur, the armor.
the armor wearing Wookiee fur?
The armor, I believe, has a Wookiee fur pelt or like colory deal.
Collary deal. Yeah, she definitely has that whole like chest fur thing going on.
Like, I think
Uh-oh.
that kind of,
Don't tell Notman.
I think that kind of, can you see there? That
No.
kind of like little partial like shoulder cape deal is a Wookiee pelt. I think that's been established.
You need a
Oh.
drink called Wookiee fur. I don't know.
I
I'll
didn't
probably
know
picking
that
on
I
its
would
teeth.
want to drink something called Wookiee fur.
Fuzzy Wookie.
Fuzzy Wookiee. Well, I mean, you're right. I guess like, a fuzzy tauntaun is good, and
No, it's
these
not.
they smell bad on the outside.
You might like it better now. They changed it supposedly. It was off the menu for a while, and now it's back at
I'm
Otis.
going in 2 weeks, so we'll find
I've
out.
heard the recipe has been altered somewhat. And
Why did you not like it? You didn't like the fuzzy tauntauns?
I can't stand it because I was staying at the bar with Amanda, and the bartender told me to lick the foam, and I did, and it was like pop rocks in my throat. They closed my throat up, and I actually couldn't
died
breathe.
3 seconds.
Ew.
That's not
So I was
good.
like, water, water, water.
Anti-venom. We got to give you another shot that's $15 to counter that one.
Yeah.
And as every Star Wars movie has to have, here's your obligatory cantina scene.
Yeah.
And there is Mr. Bettany.
How dare you
Ugh,
speak his name in the company?
this movie has such vision.
His whole face thing weirded me out. That's the main thing about his character is how his face weirds me out.
And did I read somewhere that's like somebody was saying, oh, they're scars, but somebody said that they're gills? I don't know.
That's all I know. And I know Jonathan loves them. Wants to apply things to that.
Well, here's another Star Wars movie. We were talking about this during the Andor preview. I mean, like Beckett's costume here, not particularly swarzy. I mean, Hans is more kind of towards Indiana Jonesy.
Got some Fifth Element vibes rolling through here too.
Oh, you do. But that would be towards the space and Suarez. The other one's just kind of like.
But also, yeah, it's got a lot of like sort of very retro feel. Both the architecture and the costumes in this room.
Yeah. Well, like it feels very 1940s. Maybe that's what's giving me kind of the Indiana Jones vibes. Is that singer?
You got Fertility Idol in Dryden's Den, first and foremost, and Ford is known for both franchises, so it was a little knock to him.
Right. And the singer in this, the lady singer is wearing a at least in my mind, reminiscent of
like
Kate
Willie
dress.
Yeah, that dress was very
like Willie.
Yes.
Could have very easily fit into Indiana Jones movie.
But what I also like coming up right now in a scene in a second, they're about to grab 2 drinks in nice little cups. You can get those cups on the Halcyon.
I know other people that have tracked them down elsewhere long before the Halcyon opened. So they don't have to spend however much it costs to get that glass with your drink.
And Chewie tickets double fisted shots.
So the thing is, Chewie not like underdressed for this somehow?
What? The Wookiee still has no pants.
It's like, shouldn't there be some level of dress code?
Chewie needs later hosage.
There you
Yeah, we
go.
just got a message from
Think
Mr.
of your
Chiato,
luck.
who's at D20 Disney Plus
Stay.
Day at Disney.
What
Oh
about
yeah, hanging out with Lola.
he
And
was
his snazzy hat.
him and Mike were hanging out earlier.
Oh, they were? That's cool.
Yep. Mike showed up later in the day than John.
Why did he have meetings outside the office?
Yeah, he had to. He couldn't get to the office soon enough, so they both were unable to get the cool Disney Plus ears. I think that's something that ends up getting given away in the first hour or something of them being open, if not sooner.
Let's see. Thoughts of Phoebe Waller-Bridge in Indy 5 makes you want to puke? You know, from what I've gathered, and I could be completely off base on here, but I heard that she's playing Marcus Brody's daughter.
Eh, eh, eh. Yeah, I know. Okay, let's like have a tie-in. Let's have a thing, but
I always have those connections back to Cobra Kai does it best, but anyway.
Yes.
they
I
really do.
can't wait.
Well, I have to say, if you when you watch the first two episodes, you'll enjoy Chosen, who they teased in the end of last season.
I can't wait for that.
In this first two episodes, there's one particular scene that I was very impressed. But he's a good character.
Not minutes calling attention to. He thinks that Jeff has Wookiee Lederhosen.
Wookiee Lederhosen. No, I have a
Yeah, because he's from Sweden.
Chewbacca Snuggie. That's what I have.
There you go.
It's not quite
We are the
opposite.
see
Actually,
this doctor. We're here to see the mermaid.
No jerky beef. No. It always comes back to Trading Places. And speaking of Trading Places, well, kind of. Do you see they are filming Beverly Hills Cop 4?
Yeah,
There's
that's
pictures.
where-
I have and was astonished and astounded and was like, why?
And they got pictures of Judge Reinhold in it. So
lovely.
they
Yeah,
didn't
I
bring
didn't
back
see
Axel
this.
Squirrel from the last horrible version of that movie.
See.
Oh,
Bring back Brigitte Nielsen.
No, if you've seen Creed 2, there's no reason to bring back Brigitte Nielsen.
I haven't, but yeah.
Okay, so I have to say Creed 1 and 2 were absolutely fantastic. And 2 is great because they brought back Drago. But Brigitte Nielsen coming back was kind of like.
So what are all the goodies in the back? The crystal skull, the chalice.
There's a fertility god.
There's a Mando suit. Isn't there a Mando armor?
Yes.
All kinds of different helmets.
Dark helmet.
Well, that's just a weird
Yeah.
skull. That's crystal.
Let's see.
Funny if you had Dark Helmet's helmet. That'd be over the top.
I don't think I've ever been a pilot. Not
That Dobby.
I think I've been co-pilot.
Dobby the house elf in a jar.
Fermented.
And
And then
a way to keep them. Like he had a lizard head, sort of like the one that Boba fought in the desert.
yeah, here's your Han being Hanness.
I got the pilot.
I'm Hani. I'm the pilot. I'm Hani.
Got it. More gullet. Preview.
We need a Borg Gullet, a Star Wars story.
That would be perfect. They'll put that out one right after Gonk Droid, a Star Wars story.
Yeah. Gonk droids have done all kinds of swell stuff. For some reason, they were serving drinks in Summer Vacation, which I found odd on the Halcyon. When the only droid that's on the Halcyon is the Halcyon droid, as far as I know, and it's an astromech. And astromechs are usually the ones serving drinks.
I got some kind of like jade, like sculpture thing going in the back there.
I'm going to go back to my original comment. They need the Muzak version of the Imperial March like they have in Family Guy when they're in the elevator and Dryden's ship. Dun, 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 dun.
So what was the big giant skull there? Was that a mythosaur?
Looked like a mammoth.
Yeah.
So evidently it was Warwick and his daughter Annabelle inside the pit droids, the pit fighting droids.
Star Wars family.
Yep.
And here he is, Donald Glover. What other movie? What's the name of the other movie about NASA and space that happened that he just completely stole the maneuver? That he stole that movie in there. It was was it The Martian? The Martian.
With Matt Damon.
Yes.
He was amazing in Community.
How did R2's steal Luke's lightsaber on a sail barge? Have you read Heir to the Empire? There's a whole segment about that, of how Luke put the saber inside there, and how that Mara Jade was supposed to catch the saber instead of Luke.
See, we need Mara Jade. That's the next T-shirt. Where's our Mara Jade?
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy. Where is
Dear Dave Filoni? Where's Mara Jade?
Yes.
So everything you heard about me is true. What if the stories contradict each other?
Mm-hmm. That's true too.
So yeah, he didn't go into Jabba's palace with the lightsaber. He didn't have anything. He was just using the Force because the saber was already pre-planted in R2.
Yeah. And he gave R2 and C-3PO to Jabba.
Yes.
You're playing the wrong message.
No. Oh.
Has anybody ever played in like a Sabacc tournament at a celebration or any like other event?
No, but I posted pictures of Fanatical Boston this past year. They actually, by the 501st booth, had a full-on Sabacc tournament. They actually made a tent and had 2 poker tables with stuff all around it, and we're playing Sabacc, which was kind of cool.
That is very cool because I mean I played and I play with the children at school. That's an enrichment experience. But like I think the like Hasbro version is a very simplified, kind of dumbed down. It's more like just of a counting kind of game.
Yeah.
I think there's far more elements to this version.
They sometimes will have cast members in the marketplace on Batuu sort of showing you how to play Sabacc and other.
I bought the set from Batuu, but I just kept it wrapped. I didn't even open it up.
So I have one that's like a board game that comes with little chips and things that like credits that you can bet and this and that, and you can win, and the object is of course to win the Falcon. But in that, it's all about having your cards, I think, equal 0. you get this many plus cards, this many minus cards, and you're trying to have be as close to zero as possible. And then the dice do something else to roll a different kind of bonus hand and what happens. But see, this is far more pokery, and those
Right.
cards don't exist in the set that I have.
Right.
Is that a little green Psylocke?
Yeah, not there. Don't
Wow.
have one of those.
You're good, but you're not that good.
What?
I just made this card appear. La, la, la.
Fooled you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's a little fat critter in this one. I like this guy, the guy with all the different eyes there. Pretty snazzy.
Nami wants to know what you decide for Robert Watts.
So for Robert Watts autograph is I found a Star Wars retro figure 3 3/4 of a Return of the Jedi ATST driver. And I am going to get him to sign that. I found another one, that a Return of the Jedi like 12-inch figure that was an ATST driver. And I think the photograph on the back of the box might have been him, but the figure itself didn't really look like Robert Watts, so I was like, eh. So I think it was his whoever his co-pilot was who that figure was. But yeah, the 3 3/4 figure I think will go nicely with my Giancarlo.
She just mentioned something about
Mm. What kind of fur is she wearing in this thing?
Seawalk. That's sustainable.
All right,
It's
Bryce.
100. It's
Oh, Kevin's
I-
not.
Have a good one.
I was gonna say it's 100% Churbay.
Wow. There you go.
Right.
See, lighting here, non-imperial lighting, but yet there's another kind of screen across the fluorescent, so it doesn't look like you're in a Walmart.
Uh, Can't take that droid anywhere.
No. There's lots of other story added in the Han and Lando novel, Last Shot. It's basically Han and Lando get old.
Right.
There's your Howard cameo.
Yep.
He was wearing a white suit at the solo premiere after party.
And he was a child actor in Star Trek.
Don't hawk the Trek, man.
That was
Well, it's Trek Day. We can.
Something's Children was the episode he was in and
pretty
started
creepy.
in, was it not?
Yes, Zabka is at Rhode Island, John. Well, it's also like how people, when we say "May the Fourth be with you," and people are like, "No, it's Dave Brubeck Day." And she called him Landonis. It's Landonis Balthazar Calrissian, I think.
Sounds right.
Need to get Billy D on tape saying that.
That would be cool.
Just to have
Yeah,
it.
you probably could get
Okay.
that as much as you can get Paul Blake to say that McClunky was a good idea.
McClunky. It's the best Star Wars line ever. It should take over the Wilhelm screen. Every time somebody gets
Iron
shot.
Eagle DVD. Zabka's not in Iron Eagle.
What?
Zabka is definitely not an Iron Eagle. The original Styles from Team Wolf is an Iron Eagle, and so is Lamar from Revenge of the Nerds. And also, he's actually in the original Karate Kid as well. He's a Cobra Kai. Larry B. David, I think his name is.
Larry B. Scott.
Scott, yeah, that's right. There's another first name that's the last name.
Yes.
Oh, he's got the boot and he's getting bent over like, oh my God, how dare they boot me? Jackie, if you have a chance, read the War of the Bounty Hunters comic book as well as Crimson Reign. They have a lot about Kira and also about Kira getting to meet Leia.
Oh, that's gonna be it. Yeah.
Oh, what's his favorite movie in Cobra Kai? Are you gonna have him write hash brown?
Hash brown, hash brown.
Yeah, there are apparently way more Iron Eagle movies than I knew about.
But there's also way more Starship Trooper movies that we need to know about.
Yes.
The first one's fantastic. They just
And then straight to video.
yeah. I like looking how clean the Falcon is and how the seat cushions are there, and and then you go look at Han's version. I was like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It didn't, cleaning cost extra, apparently.
Exactly right.
And just flying around with never bothered to get a new shuttle, just flying around with the big giant hole in the front of it.
Yep. So Jackie, so the main story, I don't want to ruin too much for you, is when Han's in Carbonite, it's in between Empire and Jedi. Kira, so basically the Han and Carbonite falls out of Slave One and ends up on the black market being run by Crimson Dawn. And before it goes up for sale, she offers it to Leia to try to save Han's life. But Leia thinks it's a trick, so she doesn't buy into it, not realizing that it was actually the real Han.
There we go.
Punch it, L3.
See, this is at least like kind of cooperative flying where they both have to push throttles forward to make that happen. It's kind of reminiscent of Smuggler's Run, where, one of you is doing up, down, one of you is doing side to side, which I don't think they do in this version of Flying the Falcon.
You don't have to have two pilots for sure in this Falcon.
Hey Hunter, how are you? And she has another comic coming out called Hidden Empire, which is written by Charles Soule. I talked to him at Boston Comic Con, Fan Expo Boston, about it, which is going to lead to the finale of the Crimson Dawn storyline.
I'll be right back.
After these messages.
Just browsing the cape room. That Lando has an entire cape room on the Falcon.
Well, he's so vain, he would have a cape room.
Yeah, and then again, the other thing you see, like when Han has it, That, of course, is all gone because Lando has to, like, wear the exact same set of clothes that Han wears every day.
Yep. Evidently, this scene was directed by George.
Well,
Who
that
could
would
say that
somewhat,
that George couldn't direct romance?
and that would explain some of the little cringy dialogue.
Yep. So when he directed the kissing, did he say faster, more intense?
There you go. Hey, Sherry.
Yes, I absolutely recommend Crimson Reign. But if you want to learn more about Kira, start in the War of the Bounty Hunters and then move to Crimson Reign. Crimson Reign is a fantastic series.
And I think that's available as a trade now, right? You don't have to
It
go get
is. I went and bought the trade because I could not find number 5, and I found the full trade. It actually had the trade and issue 1 signed by Charles Soule.
Ooh.
When I met him at Boston. Also had him sign a first edition Leia the Jedi. Yeah, that's the name of the book from the High Republic book.
I have not met Charles Soule yet. I met Claudia
Gray.
Yeah, at the last, and had her, and I still haven't read that book. I need to read the next one in the High Republic series.
You're welcome, Lee.
Ooh. And then right there, right up on
The Maelstrom was the former ride that was in Norway.
I thought it was, the Perdition's next to Perdition's Flame, where Khan will chase you around. Oh no, that's for you, Jonathan.
There needs to be a ride of the Kobayashi Maru.
That would be amazing.
You've been Obi-Wan mode lately, just done reading Padawan Brotherhood. Very nice. Jackie, definitely check out the behind the scenes Jedi's Journey that was released today. Catherine Cook forgot the schedule. Well, if you show up more often, you would see the schedule.
I think the schedule is out there.
Rogue One next week.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
after that.
Rogue One. And either before or after you check out Rogue One here, check out the Unifying Force back episode where we do our deep dive into Rogue One and discuss all the things. I don't know if it would be better to watch it before you join us next time, or I'm not sure, but do it.
Both.
Yes, watch it before and after and see what kind of craziness.
But I will have to say is that well, this is just a dirty scene in general. Because she's like a walking fleshlight. But that's besides the point.
Hello, there is a well-storied history of fully functional droids in science fiction.
Well, didn't Howard make one in Big Bang Theory?
And it happened to look like Katie Sackhoff. I don't know.
Yes, I thought it was absolutely hilarious seeing that she was his dream girl. But that's besides the point.
Happy Star Trek Day.
Happy Star Trek Day. What were we talking about prior to that? I just lost my train of thought when you mentioned Katie Sackhoff.
Well, we were talking about just the fully functional and the droid and human interaction is, I mean, it's interesting how droids are portrayed in different series. Is, here you have a droid that's potentially a love interest. In Return of the Jedi, you have a droid who is a god. And it's not that and then you've got others that just, the story of the Skywalkers is 3 generations bullying C-3PO.
Well, and there's also for those who are watching the Orville, there's something along the lines of someone falling in love with a droid, or as they call it, a Kaylon. which actually Chris Bartlett played one of the Kalons in season 1 of Orville.
Hmm.
And he mentioned that when they were giving him direction, they're like, okay, less 3PO like.
But then you see this level too is like L3 is preaching about droid freedom and droid independence, and they're showing up to Kessel to sell slaves for drugs. Okay. It's a very complicated galaxy.
Is that a sonic screwdriver that the Pike person has?
Yes. Pike is the next Doctor.
That'd be interesting. As she punches him in the Hans.
It was so low.
Yeah, she went so low.
There you go.
I think it's also great that of all the outfits that Lando left on the Falcon, or maybe he didn't leave it on the Falcon, maybe he took it with him, and that's why he had the outfit later on for Jedi.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I like how she gave him his theoretical nuts back, but that's okay too.
That's right. Slipped him the dice. He left a wrap. It's a wrap. Oh, no, took out the cameras that time.
Arms. It'll rip your arms off.
That's all right. Just destroy them. It's okay. Rip their arms off.
I can't move my arms.
There you go. See there. Well, stabbed with a sonic screwdriver.
That's what it's actually for.
And very, economical, very only show what you need to know. We don't know what kind of kung fu she knows. Just wave the cape around a couple of times and he's down on the ground dead. And you're just like, what?
Makes sense to me.
Barrick.
For
She's
what
like a-
restraining bolts do, they're surprisingly easy to remove.
It's like mind control.
It's sort of like the earwig from Wrath of Khan.
But not surprisingly easy to remove.
Yes.
They had to be, screaming in pain. Ah!
Or the bug from the Matrix.
Oh yeah.
I always felt that these helmets on these workers or whatever were just too weird and large and kind of comical almost.
This is very like what Temple of Doom reminiscent.
We're always gonna hawk the Trek.
Star Trek Day. We're hawking the Trek every 20 minutes just for you. There will be Wookiees over there.
Help him.
They're cattle prodding Wookiees. He's totally gonna.
He's gonna F some S up.
Yep.
Like, I'm gonna take this off.
This is like, it's about to go down.
Hold my shoes. That's what he's telling somebody right now. Like when girls get in fights.
Oh, now it's about to go.
That comical helmet back on. Run away.
That's because Darth Vader ain't got no ears, Lieutenant Dan. Darth Vader ain't got no ears.
I actually cracked that joke with Jeff the other day that he needed new legs. I was like, "You got new legs, Lieutenant Jeff?"
No new. No new.
Nanu nanu.
Nanu. No new.
That would have been fun, though. If Jeff became bionic, then Mike could dress him up in like a red velour tracksuit and go.
There you go. That would be fun.
But before you got the robotic legs, you need to have like spider legs, like Maul did for a while.
Hell yeah. Make me like 9 feet tall.
There you go.
There you go.
Well, you're pretty close now, aren't you?
Still got 3 feet to go.
Oh, okay. I'm just short, so.
Yeah. Everybody's 9
Oh,
feet.
and we just immediately drop it.
Hey,
Yep.
it's explosive.
Mm.
Ah.
Not that explosive.
And let's drag it across the floor.
So you see a red blinking light.
Yeah, and we're done.
So what's the most about coaxium you can pick up in Smuggler's Run? Is it two canisters?
I think if you're good, you can get 3.
Hmm.
I think 2, 1 or 2 is average for sure.
I'm sorry. Namond.
There you go. Ice cream.
Ice cream, Lieutenant Jeff.
I mean, I would not ignore the ice cream. Get 2 cones.
So is L3 practical or CG in this?
Practical.
Hmm.
Phoebe's actually there, and half her outfit's green,
Sweet.
but she has a lot of the
Got one of those mocap like outfits
Yeah.
on underneath like elements of the droid.
Well, that's what they're trying. They're trying to do as much as possible when it comes to the droids and make them as humanized as possible.
Humanoid. Mm-hmm.
That was one of my favorite. So the mocap of K2 that someone wore in in Orlando 2017 had the gray outfit jumpsuit with all the different spots on it and had a stick coming from their head with a picture of K2's face on it above their head.
Right.
It's like, oh my God, that is incredible. And then of course in Chicago seeing Bodhi with 4 gullets stuck to his head.
Oh, got it.
Oh no, somebody's just like shooting my ship because I'm about to take people out.
And this planet was run by damn dirty apes.
Boom, boom. What? You just shot my ship. Boom.
Hey.
Boom. Boom.
You shot my hair. Son of a bitch.
These guys shoot like troopers. And now you got to take them one at a time. What's up with that? You should get at least bring down a little cart that you could load up with 2 or 3 of them. Not to carry
Well, for a freighter, the loading ramp on the Falcon is like
sort of elevator.
tiny.
Yeah. Needs an elevator that drops like out of the middle. Probably does have that.
I should get on my flight. No, I'm not getting on my flight to London dressed like that.
Ooh, smugglers.
Boom.
Smugglers area.
Uh-oh. Here we go, sadness.
Point. Whoops.
Oh,
Damn.
that's gonna leave a mark.
And there goes your booty call.
Jacked up.
Oh, as you rips her torso right up.
Owie.
Oh, and again, the plot is just like, oh, okay, a blaster bolt will tear the big metal droid in half, but Lando takes one in the shoulder and just goes, eh.
Get out of here, man. Gotta carry both of you.
Boom. Why didn't we do that to begin with?
You know, it'd be crazy is if I actually went to Heathrow and tell them I'm there for the coaxium, if they actually knew what I was talking about.
And then they arrested you.
and then the cavity search.
Yep.
I'm sure there's going to be some savvy people that work there, understanding the level of Star Wars
Right.
people that are going to be coming through there. And odd, stupid references to things that they'll be hearing.
One would hope. You would hope that they would get, like cops and security and people that would be in the convention center and things that are semi at least aware of the Star Warsness.
Oh no. Yell at the droid. With a reset. Press that button. Where is it?
Control Alt Delete.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Hold the open Apple button.
You think the inside of her visor displays a blue screen?
Does she have eyes to see that blue screen?
Blue screen of death.
Oh, the red ring of death from the original Xbox 360.
We got some nasty coaxy. It's a little volatile. We need to get there soon. It's already old.
What? Yato bought a dog bed at Disneyland?
Yeah, it's the pram.
Is it the pram or is it the one that's the Doom buggy?
No, it's a pram. It's got
it's
a
pram.
logo in it.
Yep.
That's cool. They have a Doom buggy one too, I think, from Haunted Mansion.
That's never good. Yeah.
Cue a couple of TIE fighters.
Every word in that sentence was wrong.
Mm-mm.
Turn around. Yui. Run away. Run away.
Oh no. $20 parsecs? That's a lot of parsecs.
Yeah. And Chewie's just like, no, don't do that. Bad idea. Oh yeah, why don't you just go like pull the brain out of your girlfriend and plug it into the ship? You just do that. It'd be okay.
Well, he's got a good feeling about this.
Mm.
Works every time.
Mhm.
Oh, it's a little bumpy. Yeah. Ooh.
Crazy.
This kind of flying is why the Falcon is in that kind of shape later.
Well, yeah, it gets destroyed almost immediately, just with Han behind the yoke for a short period of time.
Yeah, they're still there. Oh, no, scratch one.
Two less.
Oh, look, Atari 2600 targeting.
Not really, because that was vector graphics.
What's your vector, Victor?
Roger, Roger.
Over under.
Well, I was over under. You were under done.
Oop. Oh, watch this. Flip. Boom.
Oh snap! That was battle action.
That's why we're flying a space 18-wheeler.
Plow through the enemy.
How do I do that? Chewie's like, get out of here. See, there's your backstory too. How does Chewie know how to fly?
It was 150 years old, so
Well,
190.
yeah, but
Just
He's
because he's
also
old
from-
doesn't mean.
planet of trees.
Yeah. Although they have some interesting technology there, but it's not quite this.
Yeah, I mean their technology looks like based on dragonflies.
Is it bad, or maybe I'm tired that when I see in Lane's comment as Hondo telling MF travel stories, I'm thinking to myself, I don't think of Millennium Falcon. I'm like, why is he telling MF travel stories?
Sorry, it took me a minute to get Hondo as Hondo Onaka instead of John Wayne.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yes.
It's like, wait, no, oh, Jim Cummings Hondo. Yeah, sweep to the butt to do what
MF,
this
MF travel stories. Gotta add an MF in there.
Uh-oh.
And died.
Uh-oh. Doing that. Oh,
I don't understand the difference that warrants the Falcon landing like this versus landing like this. I don't think I'll ever
I
get
don't understand why he did that at all. I mean, just pull your speed brakes and, flare and he'll fly right by. Just pull a
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
There you go.
You were watching Top Gun way too many times.
Just saying. Just,
So college is.
ooh. Yeah, but I mean, if it can occasionally like land straight up and down, you would think that it could just like speed brake in mid space and just go boop, and then instead of ripping off all of your landing gear doing like some random skid.
Well, they kind of pulled that in Force Awakens as well when they landed on a Star Killer base.
Yes.
Right.
On Ilium, I guess that was called.
But I mean, they were coming out of they were doing that because they just immediately came out of hyperspace in atmosphere or something.
Yeah.
Kind of makes more sense.
Roro.
Red alert. Sorry.
Oh. Dude. Oh, yeah. Hey, that's not good.
There's always a bigger fish.
Whoa.
Eyes. Don't look, Frank. You're watching.
A space octopus.
A space Sarlacc?
I mean, that's what it kind of.
Faith
Or
rat, a
s-
space raptor.
Or
Or
s-
It's a
raptor.
big wrath star.
it's a
That's a
it's the
big wrath.
Kraken.
It's your ma. Oh wait, go away from the ma.
Okay, is it the Ma or is that the devil's anus that we see in Ragnarok?
There you
Where it
go.
leads. Could end up fighting the Hulk.
Oh.
And now it looks like the Falcon we know.
Ripping off panels.
And there you go.
All right, and credits.
Well said, Jackie.
That was a delicious little morsel.
Yeah, it's like it hadn't powered right up. This sucker's nuclear.
Space Kraken wants more. He got a taste of that little.
But do you need the 1.21 gigawatts of electricity?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jumpstart it with a bolt of lightning.
By the way, besides Oscar Isaac, Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd were announced for New York Comic Con.
Oh.
Yes, I am looking directly at Dave.
Okay. They need to announce Michael J. Fox for Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Ooh, snap.
Because I may or may not have a metal stamped license plate shipping to me right now.
Well, there you go. I would probably start get the two of them on a hoverboard. I have him on a copy of the USA Today from Back to Future 2.
Yeah, see, that's my major dilemma on like the license plate is especially the one that I wanted to get because some of them are just like printed and they're not raised letters, but I
Right.
wanted one with raised letters that looked like a real license plate, but that gives you way less space to sign.
Right.
The one that's just printed on a piece of cardboard is actually truer to what they would have probably used in the movie. Because
You're probably right.
back in the day,
and then
like legit any kind of.
some of them some places sell the one that's like a barcode that's supposedly 2015 future plate. And that's totally flat. And I've seen a lot of good signatures on that, but I like the one that says out of time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Inject the red matter. Wait, no.
Just try this and see what happens. Spinning's a good trick.
And we overheat the engines and burn the whole thing out. And now we're dead.
Yeah. Blue, 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 blue. Devil's anus.
I also love the fact as well is that when they upload L3 to the Navicomputer, it makes the same noises as the Navicomputer does in the original trilogy.
Oh, there you go. They're closing up. They're closing up.
The cave is closing. It's not a cave. What?
Yeah, the giant mouth.
Oh, and
Bunch of chewy.
Elvis has left the building.
Thank you very much.
Don't buzz.
Speaking of Elvis, fantastic movie. If you have a chance to watch it. Yes, Jeff, it's on HBO Max.
Okay.
Hobo Joe Max.
Well, I know you have my password, so that's why I was.
And then here it is again. It's like flying by, and instead of skidding on the thing, oh, look, they just pull right up and sort of kind of
smoking.
Helicopter land.
Ends up in the sand in the front, missing some of that.
You know what the top of it kind of looks like right now is like, you know how in the A3 Kenner version when you take the top off,
pop open the panel.
The panel.
They actually did a better version that had panels in the front like that, which would have been closer to.
Now if you round down.
Yeah, it looks good there.
Thing is destructicated. It was pretty a minute ago. I'm surprised it still flies.
There you go. I know. I
Got the
hate you.
callback.
I know.
Yeah, that was a nice little.
It was a good use, I thought, as well. Although I'm sure there's.
Oh, he's got his sling ring on. He's, gonna open a portal to.
They actually have a pop of Wong opening a portal now. It has a portal around them. You're not gonna buy it, so why you care?
I do not have any Marvel pops. I do not need any Marvel pops. Do not
You say
get
that
me
now.
Until you need some Marvel pops.
I know.
We come up to Rhode Island, you should probably get a Kingpin pop. And
Yeah,
have
who
Vincent,
wants
Vincent D'Onofrio sign it.
Once you pop, you just can't stop.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Wait, that's Pringles. Never mind.
It's it. No, it's
Sometimes you gotta leave the last ones at the bottom of the can.
Yeah, there you go.
When are you going to see Clerks?
Oh, the 4th of October.
Nice.
It's like
I
should try to see it before then, but I kind of like the last time for the road show I went and saw that movie fresh with the crowd, which I kind of liked, but I also didn't like because I lost some of the jokes and stuff because of all the cheering that was going on.
I'm going next Wednesday.
I think they're premiering it here on freaking Halloween.
Yeah. Well, you can go see it in the theaters next week. You just won't have the
it's not the
road show.
Convenience tour. Inconvenience, whatever it's called. Yeah. So that's why I'm thinking of seeing it before. And
can you get part of your AMC package? Because I'm seeing it at AMC.
Yep, I'm sure that'd be the easiest thing to do since I can already go for free, basically. Well, not free for what I pay a month, and just add it to the movies that I see, which I definitely don't make up the full amount anymore lately. That may change, but not right now. Anyways, and not till October 4th.
It's gotten great reviews. Is brandy a drink that you get on Savarine?
Sometimes they just completely take you out of the universe with randomness.
And this is the first time that Aaron Kellyman worked with Warwick Davis, and now Aaron Kellyman is going to be in Willow.
Nice.
Yeah, the teaser trailer when they're introducing the cast, she was like, "Yeah, we did a movie together." He's like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah, I was in Solo." He's like, "No, I don't remember."
There you go. You are.
Does he not like Solo? Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if this is her in costume, she's just in costume all the time.
Yep.
Oh no, his ride left him. No. Still got his gunslinger stance. Let's go ahead and get it over with.
Yeah, see, it looks like less Grievousy there, but
yeah.
then they're all just like, you're a little kid.
Yeah, better shop around.
Through the shop eye.
Need the rest of the people to take their helmets off that are in her crew, her nest, as it were. That guy back there and the other guy over there, and that fellow down there. They already have them
Uh-oh.
do graffiti. That's a crime, lady.
The Death Star? No, wait.
Is it?
It's the London Underground.
Or is? Oh yeah, that's the underground symbol. She likes to take public transportation. That's what she's saying. She's an advocate. There we go. Show your faces. The two tubes over there. We got some guy that doesn't
We got
remember.
Weasel. We got the Winter Soldier.
Just so good. Got Dime Store Greedo and
Can you say Strikes Back?
got a mean kitty over there.
There's got to be, hope first.
There was I read something. Someone on one of the boards was saying that they're retconning Solo with Andor, saying that Solo started the rebellion. And I'm like,
I've been saying that all along. Hadn't I been telling you kids?
I'm like, there's multiple facets of the rebellion. You got the Ghost. You got like people are like, there's these little sects all around that are rising up.
But where did even the Ghost, before you see in Rebels, they were Phoenix Squadron. They had previously been in the Greater Rebellion and became their own squadron and gone off. Did they all kind of start from this fuel dump? I don't know. Han Solo starts the rebellion. Because again,
by giving them coaxium?
Sure. He enabled.
It all comes back to Arabs and oil, doesn't it?
It does completely. And Han Solo enables the rebellion. Okay,
yes.
Maybe he doesn't start it; he enables it.
No wonder he was my favorite character growing up.
That
says a lot, doesn't it?
Instigator, facilitator, enabler, right there.
That should be a shirt. Just the words in white. I could see it in block letters,
Hint, hint.
Writing Sharpie in hand.
Yes. We also need a Rebels Revisited shirt.
Yes, we should.
They have been asking.
Good idea.
The Valcord, is that like a harpsichord?
I think it's the space
accordion
that Weird Al was playing.
Oh, during the
is that space Stonehenge right there that they're standing amongst those weird spiky rocks?
Oh,
it's right there in the poster. See, it's right there.
Another panel they actually announced for New York Comic Con is a panel with Daniel Radcliffe and Weird Al.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
That could be really good or really bad.
Well, the thing is, if they do a panel like them and have them perform, just like whoever, I forgot the guy's name who played Elton John in Rocket Man. When they did a panel for Rocket Man, him and Elton got up on stage and performed together. So if they bring in Daniel Radcliffe to perform with Weird Al, that'd be kind of cool.
Indeed.
Yeah, I can't imagine people in the chat are talking about seeing tie-ins from Andor and Solo. It's obviously we think that is going to happen. That's why we're watching it in the end, then some. But the question is what we see. You know, are we going to see some Crimson Dawn in there? Are we going to see some Enfys Nest? I really don't think they'll push it and give us like, you know.
So the one thing that that they did say is that there's no fan service in Andor.
Mm,
But don't you think by virtue of having Saw Gerrera in there or Amon Mothra, that's kind of fan servicey?
I don't know. I mean, you've been here with all the things that we've been watching. Is those are cornerstones and foundations of the rebellion. Um, you know, but again, by watching this, we could argue at the end is so do we get to see Solo? No. That would be fan service.
Right.
You bring in Alden in a like behind, you know, it's just like a little shot in the background, or you know, Donald Glover, that's fan service. But oh yeah.
Busted.
Oh, here we go.
Because Han Solo had so much free time to make a fake version of coaxium.
Right, yes. This would have been more fun if that was a Camtona.
I was just thinking the same thing. That's funny. Be harder to hide a pistol in the lid.
Yeah. Oh,
It's like,
all thready.
that's ominous. Okay.
This is like the nerve gas stuff from The Rock.
Dwayne Johnson has nerve gas.
Yes, Dwayne Johnson has nerve gas after, you know, eating at Taco Bell. I don't know.
Oh, okay. They call it Taco Hell for a reason.
It's like, it's the real thing. I didn't even think about that. He's sitting there going, I didn't even think about making fake coaxium. That would have been a good idea.
I would never do that. No.
Lanny's asking, what do we think about seeing Jen? I don't think we'll see Jen in Andor. I don't think.
I don't think they need her.
No, he hadn't met her before,
Right.
the deal, and I think the point at which we see Saw is after she's already left Saw's cadre. So, you know, don't think we'll see her, especially not in season 1. If they get crazy and
Show something.
have her like, you know, allude to her or something in season 2 when it's right before Rogue One, maybe.
Some of the stuff that got her like in that jail cell.
Yeah.
Or what, you know, they could do things like that lead up to where she ended up before we saw the movie started. Between obviously Saw leaving her in that hole when she was 16 or whatever.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking is we wouldn't even see her, because even if she only interacted with Saul, it's the wrong age bracket, wrong age, wrong time.
No. Your face would get all weird and scaly looking. That's what would happen.
Yeah, I don't understand his like makeup-y, what his deal is.
That's what he looks like after Naaman gets done with him.
All sliced up. Got it like a fish.
Go. Notman goes all lost cat on him or something.
That's awesome.
No, the jig is up.
Mm-hmm. Even
Were
you.
those, were those belts issued by the Empire? They got the same exact belt. Beckett and Han, that is. No, Empty's Nest
That's
aged.
not good.
Sonic boom! You want me to put the hammer down?
Boom. See, let's see. One of the Star Wars channels, I just got a YouTube notification, is doing Saw Gerrera 101 for Disney Plus Day. It's like, you guys haven't, should have been watching Rebels Revisited. Already done that.
We are trendsetters here at the VCN.
That is what we do. Boom. You done. Oh.
Go snacks again. Fake ass coaxial. What? He's not fake. They'll blow us all up.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Yeah, it's them crazy vibroblady, sabery thingies. Hmm.
Uh-oh. Nope.
Oh, that green
little
glass.
dancing. It's done. Oh.
Gun. Oh, the cricket bat, that'll get you. Slicing up the flow.
Oh, we're down.
Grab that while you're at it, Dorcas.
All go down the
Or
hole.
shoot it.
Some badass brass knuckles he's got though. Crazy bladies. Oh no. Double crotch.
Oh.
That's smog. Or sting.
Once you're in, you're in.
Break that cool jade statue.
Oh.
Cut him. Cut him.
Could have like took another step closer to him before you swung, not just pits him off.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Snap.
Oh,
There we go. Well, base kung fu.
Got him.
you know you're dead. What did you do?
Did you get him in the pacemaker?
So is there an argument here that with all this flippy, sorty, that Kira is potentially somewhat force sensitive? She was, spoiler alert, because trained by or going to train with, who.
It's possible. Maybe Han has a thing for force sensitive women.
That's his type. There you
Yeah. Force sensitive brunettes.
Indeed. away. I'm not coming.
This is a big elevator. Large.
They bring all that cool stuff up in it.
Well, yeah, that's the kind of elevator that they need. Oh, look, Infinity Stones.
Hmm. Crimson Dawn Ring.
Ring of Power.
Where you go with that coaxium?
Chewie's just far too like easy going in this. It's like, okay, I'm gonna carry this. Okay, I'm gonna carry this stuff over there. Okay, so it's like, come on, rip somebody's arms off.
It's one of those older projectors that needs to have the lights dimmed so you can actually see it. It's not
I
like-
remember freaking out in the theater when it was revealed it was Maul.
When did you get it? Did you get it at the voice, or did you get it at the fake leg, the cybernetic legs, or did it have to
I
actually?
got it here as he was pulling off the helmet.
Yeah.
I got it late.
crazy new lightsaber version that he has. Cut you.
Yeah, the one with the weirdo kind of like guard.
Got a couple of weird things going on. John Cato should 3D print up some of them parts, make a cool custom Maul saber.
Yeah, well, they don't make that one yet.
That is true.
They
It's supposed
emphasize
to
yet.
happen at night. Shoot the coaxium.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah.
That
Nope.
solves the whole mystery. Han shot first.
Absolutely. It's just like,
One
nope,
shot.
doesn't even let the villain like tell his,
Now I'll help you.
no exposition.
I know.
Tell Sam I'll be in late for my shift.
I'm coming, Elizabeth.
So there you
Too soon.
go. Groans.
Yep. Oh, engine powering up. Oh, we gone.
He
That is
should put his-
also one of the
He should put his
gassiest
thumb out.
ships ever.
Uh,
That is like, let's just like fly around in a skyscraper.
and in the upright position like a skyscraper.
Right. It's like, let's take the Chrysler building, and like, let's make it fly.
It should be the Sears Tower.
It looks kind of like is that the what's the building in San Francisco called? It's like a weird giant pyramid.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what the name of it is.
That's some corporate name. Anywho, see, Chewie's thing is like a Y, and it goes on one
Yeah.
side of the bottom.
And the bandolier things are like round cylindrical deals instead of the more rectangular boxes that
Right.
I guess because it's different ammo for a different gun.
Most. Oh yeah, it's true. Huh?
Maybe it's for like, a sawed-off shotgun. They has shells
There you go.
like Baru has on in
Because
Kenobi.
Warwick's carrying like a rocket launcher there.
Yeah.
Gotta have a gun larger than he is. Here, I'm gonna spark a rebellion.
It is because rebellions are built on coaxium.
Coaxium. In the hope of more coaxium to come.
And just strapped to the side of my USB drive, just like Ray.
Mm-mm. It's more blockish looking though.
We could use a good pilot. You're turning your back.
You should have
What's
said
the use of a reward if you can't use it? Doesn't sound like me. Like it sounds like suicide. Well, take care of yourself, Han. See if that's what you're best at.
Here, have a droid thingy.
There you go.
Droid collar. Oh no, it's some coaxium.
Nope. There you go. It's like a little random dilithium crystal.
Here, make a lightsaber.
I'm definitely gonna have to make a video when I go to Doc Ongar's in a few weeks just to laugh at Kyoto saying there are kyber crystals.
That's me.
Uh,
Last time I tried to buy one, there was red ones, but I got a black one.
yeah. Jackie's asking, what'd you do with Dryden's body on its launch? The trash compactor, of course.
There you go.
Look at this. It's like Space Hawaiian shirt.
Which they sold at the store in
Yeah.
Chicago.
Telling you, that's the new concept.
I know. I got the memo.
Space Hawaiian shirts. That.
Here, have some Maxium. First taste is free. You're gonna meet up with Heisenberg to make some more of that blue stuff.
Mm-mm. I don't know.
Is that like moss growing on the table?
Yes.
Something like that.
Oh yeah,
Dang.
Maxium up in there. I broke her in, as it were.
Oh, wait, nope.
Slurp, snurp.
Waiting for the. Oh.
He's got performance issues.
Sad boy.
Aha.
Blurp.
Oh. And nobody blinks an eye as to why Han has an extra card.
Why
Like,
you
wait, I just deployed.
You
and
cheat.
waved around.
You cheat, Dr. Jones. You cheat.
You cheat very big.
Everybody was just dumbfounded that Lando lost. They couldn't think otherwise.
When did I ever say you wrong? I just met you, foo.
Punch it, Chewie. They should make both pilots do that move because it's best.
Well,
Yeah.
anyway, that was absolutely incredible. I love that movie. I can watch it over and over again, and it still is awesome. Jeff, thoughts?
One of my favorites of the new movies, and probably up there and of all movies, of all the Star Wars movies. So like I was saying earlier, I like the little elements of it. I like the movie overall. I would be interested to see what the original version was going to be before Ron took over, but I think he did a great job.
Oh.
Made sure I told him so, even though I hadn't seen the movie yet. But it's Hollywood.
That's
Yes.
right.
Dave?
Well, I am displaying my thoughts right there on the screen for those of you on the Facebook, which way is it?
Make Solo.
Make
2.
Solo 2 happen.
Yes.
Come
So
on.
make sure that you take a look at that. And also, I buy the shirt. And all proceeds go towards swag at Celebration. So we're very excited. Remember, 7 months away. We're 7 months away from being in London, which is pretty awesome. Keep track of what the goings on the Virtual Cantina Network as well as our page in the next week, because we got multiple things coming out. Plus also gearing up.
Dropping little Easter eggs. Come on.
Mhm. And gearing up obviously towards Andor, which comes in 2 weeks. We're very, very excited. 2 weeks from tonight is the debut of Andor here on the Virtual Cantina Network. Before we close out, anything, Dave?
Just go ahead and join us for all of our wrong predictions this Sunday on the Unifying Force and see what we think is going to happen on the Andor show.
Jeff?
Fun movie. I enjoyed it a lot. Next week with Rogue One will be a great capper to our Andor and then some. Andor August and then some. Skipping a few words there. We'll see. Be great to see how that ties in the following week to what we'll all see right after that. So
Looking forward to that. So from Jeff and from Dave, this is Spencer saying, live long and prosper.
Ooh. Peace and long life.